I have resigned. I have resigned. Now, the hourly rate that you get and the kind of responsibility you have is not balancing. I started noticing inequality in the workplace. The amount of work we have to do. So as a nurse, you are sometimes taking 2 to 3 nurses' responsibility. And I am so grateful that I've got the adequate knowledge to obviously move on with my life. If your face does not fit, you will not progress in your work environment. So how sad is it that you are being judged by your face, by the color of your skin, by your accent, where you are from? And that is a very bold statement. And that is my personal opinion, and I stick to that. Gosh, I will tell you guys my experience. Jesus.
Problem in all the feeling.
Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing fabulous. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Belinda. I am a registered nurse in the UK. To my old subscribers, welcome back. So as you guys read from the title of this video, this is by no means clickbait, guys. So yes, guys, you read correctly. I have resigned. I am out. Okay, well, I'm not out as quite yet because I'm still working my notice, but I've got 3 weeks left and then I'm free. So on the 9th of December, that will be my last shift as a permanent staff nurse, and I'm out. So in this specific video, guys, I'm just going to talk to you guys about my overall experience, reason as to why I'm resigning, reason as to why I've had enough. So I'm just going to give you guys a bit of a breakdown about myself. Okay, so I qualified as a registered nurse last year, September of 2021, in my field of practice, which was adult nursing, okay, to be specific. I didn't start working until December because I was studying. Thereafter, I went on to working as a registered nurse in the A&E. So I work in the emergency department, which has been quite the experience, no doubt. And I've been a nurse now just over 1 year. I've been a registered nurse. And I'm just over it. I am just over it. I think I've been over it 6 months into the whole work thing. But at that point in time, I didn't think of what I'm going to do once I leave, etc., etc., etc. A lot of planning, a lot of thinking, a lot of implementing that needed prior to me obviously reaching this point where I'm ready to, you know, just leave. So what I did is initially I was contracted to 37.5 hours. Thereafter, I applied for flexible working hours in the month of July. It takes 2 months to process. So it was implemented in September, okay? And so I went from 37.5 hours, I went down to 18-hour contract. So that was all I was doing. And then when it was implemented in September and I started working 18 hours, I was still not feeling it, you know. I still didn't want to be there. So sometime in October, I decided, you know what, I've had enough and I'm going to give in my resignation letter. So I sent my resignation letter in. Okay, so when I started working, I was new. I was still doing my preceptorship program, which once again I've got a whole video on. If you don't know about the nursing preceptorship program and everything you need to know about it, I'll leave it somewhere up here as well as down in the description box below so that you guys can have a look if you are interested. So I was doing my whole preceptorship program and I was just learning on the job, and I am so grateful that I've got the adequate knowledge to obviously move on with my life. So the first month I worked was fine, super excited. Second month was as well, and so on and so forth, and I was really excited to work as a newly qualified, you know what I mean, because I was obtaining all that knowledge. I think the 5th month is when I came to the realization that this job is starting to make me annoyed and frustrated with a lot of things. You know what? Working as a permanent staff nurse, it's got its pros and cons, okay? And that's exactly what I'm going to be discussing in this specific video. So there are various factors that contributed leading up to this point to where I made the decision for myself to actually leave. And this is based on my own personal experience, guys. So I just want to put a disclaimer out there. This is my personal experience and this was my personal choice. But I'm anyway going to share it with you guys so you guys can get some sort of an idea as to where I was coming from in regards to obviously giving up my permanent job. So one of the reasons there is no doubt about it is the amount of pay that we get. Okay, so I'm a newly qualified, so at this point in time my hourly rate is £13 something if I'm not mistaken, obviously depending on where you are on your band, which is very disappointing to say the least. They've recently said they've given us an increase, which I personally can't see in my payslip, but nonetheless they say they've given us an increase. So I was just like, I am not reaching my saving goals. So for me personally, savings is very important. I am not reaching my saving goals because obviously bills need to be paid, etc, etc, etc. And I was just like, surely there has to be more than this. That's the way I was starting to feel. Now, the hourly rate that you get and the kind of responsibility you have is not balancing. There's no balance in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is your hourly rate and this is the workload. Like, it's like this. It's not balancing. There's no equilibrium. That is the truth. Now, the amount of work we have to do, we are constantly short-staffed. So as a nurse, you are sometimes taking 2 to 3 nurses' responsibility, which is an unsafe practice, not only for you as a registered nurse with a PIN, but also your patients. You are unable to give your patients the adequate, full, holistic care as a result of this. So I work in A&E, and in A&E there is various areas in the department, and I found myself in one specific area for 3 months, okay? And I was like, I am not progressing in this area. This was 3 months into me being new. So when I had my meeting with my line manager, she asked me, Belinda, how are you finding? Are you happy? I'm a straight talker. I will let you know, no, I'm not happy. And reason as to why, okay? I remember saying to her, I'm not happy because I am being put in one area for the last 3 months. I am not developing. I am not learning. I am stagnant. Okay, and I don't like that, because once I become like that, I start getting itchy feet because I like to work towards something. So she spoke to obviously the band 7, sent out an email, and they moved me to ambulance streaming. Now, I really loved my time in ambulance streaming because that's where we received the patients from the ambulances, and I was getting my skills in regards to cannulation, my catheterization. I was really getting my skills in there in that specific area. I started opening my eyes to a lot of things. Now, I'm the type of person that I will laugh through things, even though it's not funny, but for the sake of laughing, let me laugh, because if you don't laugh, you will cry. I started noticing inequality in the workplace, and I'm going to elaborate in regards to that. I had a meeting at one point, and I was asking the question, how long does it take for a nurse to move from a band 5 to a band 6 in this hospital, right? And I was told 2 to 3 years. And then obviously at that point in time, I'm like, 2 to 3 years, why? What are they, how, please make it make sense. How can you work in a department 2 to 3 years, have all your adequate training in the first year? Like myself, I've got all my trainings that I needed, and then you're telling me I need to be here for 2 to 3 years before I get a position, when there's people who have been here for 5, 6 years, been trying to apply for the same position but have been unsuccessful. Please make it make sense. I later came to realize that this whole work environment is about a hierarchy, and if your face does not fit, you will not progress in your work environment. So how sad is it that you are being judged by your face, by the color of your skin, by your accent, where you are from? And that is a very bold statement, and that is my personal opinion, and I stick to that. I later looked around me, you know, just sort of studying who is actually progressing, who is being given the band 6 positions. I personally don't want to apply for it, but I know people who would make great band 6 nurses, who have the adequate knowledge, right? And they really work from the bottom of their heart. Like, you can see that these nurses are working. They're not just here for the money. They're really here because they genuinely want to be here. And their efforts do not get recognized. How? How is it that a person needs to apply 6 times for a band 6 position in a department just to be unsuccessful. Please make it make sense. The first time, if you were unsuccessful, that still makes sense, because it's like, why was I unsuccessful? Let me see what I need to complete in order to be successful, to meet the requirements that they want me to have. The second time around, 6 times, I remember talking to this person. I said, you know what? I take my hats off to you. I really take my hats off to you, because you know what? The second time around, I'm out. And then, with that being said, I just looked around the people that were getting the band 6 position. Like, who are these people? I came to realize that the people who are getting the positions are the people who can be dictated to on how to lead. If I'm going to be made a leader to lead, I will lead to the best of my knowledge and the best of my experience. I cannot lead with somebody dictating to me how I should lead. Why then did you give me the position to lead if you are going to tell me how I must lead, what I must say, when to say this, what I must do, how to do it? Why did you give me the position? Now, it's politics, ladies and gentlemen. It's politics. Another thing that annoyed me is the annual leave. Like, they were like, book annual leaves, and then you would book your annual leave just to be rejected. Why? If I tell you I want to go on annual leave on this day, you can't come and tell me, no, this day doesn't really make sense for you to go on annual leave because there's not enough members in the department, you know, because, sorry, hi, hello. What has it got to do with me whether there is a number of adequate staff in the building or not? Then if that's the case, then go and get agency nurses. I have come to that point where when I set my alarm and my alarm goes off, I am contemplating and debating in my mind whether I should go to work or not. And then the icing on the cake was, after a long day of work, taking on 2 to 3 nurses' job because there's not enough nurses, you would come home and you would go into your email and there you got it. Dear Belinda, on this day, please, can we have a statement? And there you are on your day off writing a statement that you have no knowledge of, and you have to sign it and you have to give it back, and you are debating with them as to why do I need to write a statement when I was not involved with this patient in any sort of form, but you are expecting me to write a statement. Please make it make sense. And they were like, oh, because you are working in that specific area. Yes, I was working in that specific area, but do I have any sort of involvement with the patient? No, I do not. So what am I supposed to put in my statement? Nobody gets back to you. But then they will get back to you saying, hi Belinda, we still need that statement. I was starting to feel like, I think I went into the wrong profession. I was thinking, why did I do nursing? But then I came to realize, actually, it wasn't the profession that I went into. It was the job. It was the actual job that made me feel this way. And I was like, when I start feeling like this, it's time to go. It is time to go. So I obviously reduced my hours from 37.5 hours to 18-hour contract. I thought the less time I spend there, the better for me. But on the days that I still went to work, on those 18-hour contracts, I still went to work. Nothing could annoy me more than actually putting on the uniform and actually going to work. Everything just annoyed me. So for me, I was just like, you know what? This is my cue to go. Another thing I have experienced is the way other staff nurses would talk to you. When I say other staff nurses, I'm talking about the band 6s, even some of your band 5 colleagues, they would talk down on you. I am one of those people that I have to open my mouth. I remember one time there was band 7 talking down on me like that, and I had to tell, excuse me, hi, hello, hi. Kindly do not talk to me like that. And when I say that, that is when like, oh, she opened her mouth. Sometimes I feel like they try and pick on nurses, and if you don't show them that actually you don't get to talk to me like that, then they will continue talking to you like that. And you have basically set the foundation for them to talk to you like that because you allowed them to get away with it. You cannot come and talk to me like that. That cannot happen. Not now, not ever. You must have lost your mind if you think you're going to talk to me like that. I emailed them because of the way I was feeling. I emailed my manager to email HR and let them know that I would like to work the rest of my notice as unpaid leave. So in other words, I will not be there. I will work my notice at my house and you don't have to pay me. Now that's a bargain. My line manager got back into touch with me and said the HR has declined my unpaid leave request. I asked what's the reason behind it. They stated it's because there's not enough staff. Wait a minute, what is not having enough staff got to do with me? I am asking you guys to give me unpaid leave. Unpaid leave. And you guys are saying no to my unpaid leave because there's not enough staff. So right now, guys, I am up to here. So when I reduced my hours, I joined agency. So I am going to be a full-time agency nurse now. Yes, there's pros and cons to being a full-time agency. I'm fully well aware. So that is my overall experience. You know, I really pushed my first year to get all my trainings in. So at this point in time, guys, I've literally got 3 more weeks left. So I've got 5 more shifts left to work before I conclude my contract as a permanent nurse. I have decided to stay on the bank because the bank is also flexible. You can work as and when you want to, and shifts will always be available. So why not? So that is where I'm at the minute. That is my overall experience as a contracted staff. And I will never go back as a permanent contracted staff. That cannot be me again. So yes, guys, this is my overall experience. So now I'm going to be a full-time agency nurse, guys. I'm going to get my money's worth. I'm going to work when I want to work. I'm going to sleep when I want to sleep. I'm going to work where I want to work. I will change hospitals. I will see where I am going to be comfortable and happy for whatever time period that I decide to do this with my life. That is what I'm going to do. And nobody's going to come and tell me otherwise. So guys, this is it, guys. This brings me to the end of my video. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye.